Hey there, it is Dusty Thunder with another Reddit story for you. This one is from True Off My Chest and is titled, My Wife Kept a Very Big Secret from Me for a Year. My wife kept a very big secret from me for a year. So recently, my wife, 26 female, confessed something to me, 30, which broke my heart big time. A year ago, we were living with my nephew because the school which he was going to was near my place. He came in and we stayed for about 3 months, and at the time, my wife was pregnant. He was a good boy, well-behaved and minding his own business. Surprisingly, my wife did not like his company. She did not like seeing him around. Okay, hold up. I'm a little confused right now. A year ago, we were living with my nephew. He came in and we stayed for about 3 months. And at the time, okay, was he staying with them or were they staying with him? He was staying with them, right? Okay, he was staying with them. Got it. There was an incident which happened. Normally, I put some stash of cash at home, maybe when I come with the money from my business. I placed it around because I was sure everything was safe. So one day something happened and I lost a certain amount of money. When I asked about it, my wife pinned it on my nephew, which was abnormal because I've never heard anything that he has done like that. My wife convinced me that it was my nephew who took the money. She said he was in campus and he might need some cash to do his own things because he was pretty young. I asked him if he took anything, but he said he did not take anything. According to the trust issues which were there, I had to get my nephew out of the house and take him back home so that we could figure out some way of solving the issue. Finally, I decided to move on and I just gave my nephew the benefit of the doubt. I paid the hostel for him to live on his own and my wife was happy. So recently, after a year, my wife finally confessed to me that she took the money and she hid the money and it was not my nephew. Yeah, we'll go ahead and red flag for that. I mean, not only lied, you sacrificed another human being for your lie. She just wanted him out of our house. I was so surprised, but she blamed it on the pregnancy. She said it was just messing around. It wasn't a big deal, so that's why she did whatever she did. It really hit me hard because I stopped trusting my nephew, which was wrong of me. At this point, I don't know who to blame. I don't know whether I should blame myself or blame my wife because she said it was the pregnancy. She said that because she was pregnant, she made such a decision out of her mood at the moment. It makes me feel a lot of pain for whatever I did at that time and push my nephew out. I thought that the best way to release this pain is to just say it out so that I can have peace before I take any steps. Top comment here, pregnancy does not make you mistreat family in such a way, literally framing your nephew and making you distrust him rather than having a conversation with you about him. I think a heart-to-heart with your nephew is in order. He deserves a huge apology from you both, but especially your wife. I would have that as a stipulation before you even attempt to reconcile with her. You know, yeah, what she did was pretty up here. She didn't help herself. She doesn't help herself at all by saying, it was just messing around. It was no big deal. I recently had to have this conversation with somebody, and I think it's the same kind of concept applies here. When you hurt somebody, or when you're the aggressor, when you f something up, you don't get to say, it's not a big deal. You don't get to say, you're overreacting. You don't get to say, I was just messing around. You don't get to say, you're freaking out about nothing. You don't get to be the judge of that. Because you're the person who did the damage. You cannot be the damager and the assessor. It's like an insurance adjuster who's also an arsonist. You cannot be those things together. Might be a brilliant business plan, actually. But you know what I'm saying. It's like if you did the damage, you don't get to render a verdict on how bad the damage was. And that's what she did. I was just messing around. It was no big deal. It was the pregnancy. The baby made me do it. It's the baby's fault. He's a mischievous little I don't buy it. Look, I probably am more forgiving than most about pregnancy making you do wacky shit, okay? And Candy Thunder hates it when I make the Krang reference, but that's what enters my mind. It's Krang down there controlling the little robot. It's got joysticks and buttons and all kinds of shit and just making stuff go haywire, and I imagine there's no control. Hell, if I feel not like myself after eating Chinese food, y'all having a baby down in there would make some really crazy shit happen. But it would not make you take this premeditated sacrificial lie step. It does not excuse throwing someone else to the wolves and saying, look, this is a really hard time in your life. I get that. You're trying to go to university. You're trying to be as close as possible so you can do as good in your classes as possible. F you out. Now, OP, where I think OP's up here, is instead of like, in this isolated incident, she was the one who actually took the shit, and I feel bad because I kicked him out. Like, hold up, bro. Take a step back. Why did she take the money? Why was she hiding it? Why did she feel the need to start stashing cash? Is there something wrong in your relationship that made her feel like she had to have a go bag ready, that she needed to have an emergency fund ready to go. Why did she take it? Why did she hide it? Why was he the one who got the blame? She said she just wanted him out of the house. Why? Why are you not asking why, OP? The why is the important question here. It's not who done it. You know who done it. It's why. You're addressing symptoms right now, and that's it. The symptoms aren't the big issue here, man. You got to get to the root of all of this and figure out what is actually going on. And then, yeah, there's got to be a conversation with your nephew to be like, hey, I found out the truth. She did it, but you also need to say, here's why she did it. There's no understanding of motives here at all right now, and I don't understand that. Crystal, there is a reason she had the money. Yeah, for sure. Didn't she take it specifically to blame and get rid of him, Doodles Dragon? That's what she says. I call bullshit. I call bullshit. Bullshit. She didn't take it because she just wanted him out. She took it because she had some kind of need for it. Him getting blamed for it was a secondary bonus for her because she liked the solitude of him not being there. I get that. I understand wanting privacy in your own home, but I don't think she did this to frame him and get rid of him. I think she did this for whatever reason she had and was thinking hubby wouldn't find out. And then he found out, so he was the sacrificial lamb. Crystal says, I'm assuming she wanted something that was not agreed upon or she ran out of fun money and needed more money. Also, broski, what are you doing coming home from your business and just like throwing cash all around the house? This doesn't sound like a very good business model. Sounds pretty dangerous. I mean, we don't know what the real issue is here. Maybe we'll get an update. Maybe someday we'll get an update and we'll find out the real why of what's going on there. But right now, we don't know. Because no matter what the reason was, throwing him to the wolves, that's not accurate, actually. I'm going to walk that back. There could be a very good reason for this. There could be a very good reason that makes her not an asshole at all for taking it and stashing it. If she felt she was in danger, there could be a lot of things that make it okay. There's nothing that makes it okay pinning it on him, unless she thought it was going to bring her in more danger and she knew he wouldn't be. There is a version of this where she's not an asshole at all. Not knowing that, sticking with Ask on One here. We'll see.